Hey there, this is episode 26 of the Sexcapade Chronicles, and I'm here with my co-host Lisa.
Hello.
Who is very tan and obviously been outside a lot.
I try.
So how was the state fair? You went to the state fair.
So I went to the state fair. We went at nighttime, so it was cool. It was really nice. We didn't do anything there but walk around. We don't do the rides.
So you just went to the state fair to walk around?
Yes.
Did you get the wine slushie?
No, we didn't do that. My kids know how I feel about the rides. They can go on them. Okay. I just don't recommend it.
Oh my god, like, did you see that thing about, what's it called, the one that fell apart?
Yes, that's why my kids know. I'm like, if you want to, I'm not going to hold you back from anything, but
yeah,
I don't like it. No, we walked around. My daughter, both of my two youngest daughters, they entered into the baking contest.
Yeah.
And one of them won do you see it on Facebook?
Yeah, the chocolate bar, like this, like enormous, it's massive.
I thought it was 10 pounds.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know, this might be the second take. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay, so
I thought it was 10. It's 11-pound huge thing of guitar chocolate. It is ridiculous. No child should be handed an 11-pound brick of chocolate.
And you didn't bring me any of this.
I might have got some.
The fat ass that I am. I would enjoy that thoroughly.
It's dark chocolate. Do you like dark chocolate?
I like anything chocolate.
Oh. We made chocolate-covered strawberries a couple days ago with it.
See, this is what happens.
Hey, wait.
When you have children, you do these projects.
We were just talking about gaining weight and where it's going, and
I ran twice today. Like, I actually did work out. Like,
I ate chocolate and candy.
You were on a stakeout.
Yes, that was fun. I did. I called it. You're my go-to when I have to act like a normal person.
Oh my god! Like I was like, I wish I could see her like chasing people. I think that we need to like install a camera though. So for
I have a camera.
No, but I can watch like live TV for me, like so I can at least see what she's doing. Because she like stops talking and I'm wondering she's like going in and out of traffic and I'm like, why can't I see this at least? Like,
I'm like, hold on, I got it. Make you see this light.
Yeah, exactly. Like if she's telling me where she's at, you know, it's one of those things of safety. Nah.
I haven't hit anyone yet.
Keyword.
I'm pretty good at weaving in and out of traffic.
Yes, it's very dangerous. If you like to gamble with your life, drive with Lisa. I'm this control freak that will let others drive.
Yeah, there's that.
So you got a lot of awesome stuff happen over the weekend in the last couple days. So you're talking to like reality shows.
Yeah, so my favorites, I think I mentioned it last time, the 90 Day Fiancé, Life After Lockup, and Love After Lockup. My obsessions. I love these shows, and I've reached out to some of the people, and so I get to interview them. I'm doing one this week with Tracy and Clint from Love After Lockup. I've talked to some of the women from 90 Day Fiancé, which is awesome. One of them is like the most hated person on reality TV right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is she hated?
Okay, I think she's super funny.
Oh god, this is like me. Like on social media.
Like the show that was last night, it was like the tell-all afterwards, and she seems like kind of heartless and cunty, but she's really funny.
Oh, like us.
Maybe that's what it is. That's why I identify with her.
Yeah.
And then I messaged, I was talking to one of the ladies from 90 Day Fiancé, and I had this idea, so I asked her to pitch it to WeTV. So, it's in writing if it happens. I've already named it and started everything.
That's so awesome, though. So you've been talking to them. Like, what made you like decide to reach out to them?
It started with 90 Day Fiancé and watching these people date people from other countries and then bring them here, assuming it's going to be happily ever after. They bring it from another country. They have 90 days to get married. It never works out. Okay, so I'm the queen of dating. I've done this for 7 years. Mm-hmm. I don't watch these shows, but just hearing the premise, I can tell you this is horrible, like a train wreck waiting to happen. Because like people can be married for years and not know a person, much less like 90 days from another country. Like never live together. Kind of they go back and forth every once in a while to visit. They come here. They live together. Can you imagine living instantly with someone?
Yes, I got married to someone I'd known for 24 hours.
How'd that work out?
23 days. You know, that's what I'm thinking though. Like this person I was with for 24 hours straight. Like before, I got married, and then like the aftermath of that, but not knowing the person and him just wanting party girl versus real me.
Right.
You don't know that there's more than just like one dimension to a person.
Right. Well, these people they meet online, and everyone will look perfect online.
Well, at least I met him in person, like through a friend that later married us. That's ordained. I actually like had a friend that saw her over the weekend, and she asked how our marriage was going. We have not seen her since that marriage. A year and a half later.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so the premise of these shows are people like basically like jumping to these clusterfucks of disasters.
Yes. And so I started watching it because you can't not.
Yeah.
It's like a train wreck, a car accident. You're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? You have to watch it. So being a private investigator, I yell at the TV. I'm like, do a fucking background check. Find out if they're married. Find out if they had kids. Find out a lot about them. It's not that hard. And so I yell at the TV, but then I'm totally obsessed with it. And so I reached out to some of the women, and they're really nice. So I've talked to them, interviewed them. So
that's very interesting. I mean,
but it's funny. All you have to do is like reach out to people, and
the answer?
Yeah.
We have a lot of friends, it's true. But like, so when I have a question about someone's background now, instead of just marrying them, I ask you. Give me a little
being married a few times, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, Actually, I found another person that's on his third marriage. He's a huge fan of the show, Martin, and he's 40. So we found someone younger than you that's on his third marriage. He just got married in March. We're gonna have him come on the show.
Perfect.
Because it's a club.
It is a club.
I will not be joining, but we find others that apparently love marriage.
Okay, so did you see how I posted a picture earlier of like 6 pictures of me?
Yeah.
And I was like, I have too many Lisas. My husband, my current husband, working on my last nerve, texted me the picture of me and asked if it was like a Lisa for each marriage. I haven't had that many.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about your current husband. So, Justin decided he needed to play another softball tournament over the weekend.
Because the last one went well.
And so, like, he's in the ER, I see yesterday, last night, and I'm like, oh god, what did he do now? Because he had his hernia, and that was a huge clusterfuck before he went to Vegas the first time.
Right.
And now, he tore his calf muscle.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to Vegas in a few weeks. We're not going to talk about when. But, like, the moral of the story is apparently Justin doesn't want to have fun in Vegas.
If I plan a Vegas trip, he gets hurt. That's what I've noticed.
Yes.
I did threaten him today, though. I don't care if he can walk, I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, right. I'll go with you. Jesus. Can you imagine us in Vegas?
We would have the bail money.
Well, I have friends that live there. So, we would be amongst the people from Snowfest that you met and we love so much. So Justin's injured himself, her husband, husband number 3.
Walking boot, the whole thing.
Well, he doesn't want to wear the walking boot, apparently.
No. He wasn't this morning.
So he's like at home?
Yeah, he's at home today.
I think he wants like Lisa to like nurse him back to health constantly because
I don't think he does. Because I'm not.
He wants this. I'm not saying it's actually gonna ever happen.
I think he knows well enough that I'll be like, look, again, I will leave your ass in Vegas and go have fun.
Okay, like after the hernia surgery, that was not how it went. If you don't recall. It's like you were like having to wait like waiting on him hand and foot, like you were so irritated. Like couldn't get out of the house fast enough. So I can only imagine now with him home yet again.
Well, he's going back to work tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, it's just today he took the day off. He's actually not home at the moment. He's like running errands and stuff, so he's not just sitting there.
Does he work for the state?
Yeah.
This is like so indicative of like my problem with the state of California that can't pay for victim compensation for victims, but yet anyhow.
Right.
Well, my ex-boyfriend works for the state, so the one that has a serious drug problem. If they hire anyone, apparently.
Do they not drug test?
No, they don't. Yeah. That's why he can work for the state. His dad told him to go work for the state.
Oh, Lordy.
So, anyhow. Okay, so people have been asking about the pictures with me, with my mouth on things.
Right.
Okay, what would you assume I'm doing with my life?
Knowing you, I would know it's for show. It's There's a reason behind it.
This entertainment value of marketing of some sort of things coming in the future that, perhaps have not been disclosed yet. And it's like me being like joking about having secrets because everyone thinks I always tell everyone everything. So it was kind of a play on that.
Right.
Now people have been asking if I have an oral fixation. I wouldn't ever even, this would never even occur to me. As a thing I have, I have many things, but that's not one of them. And people were like, oh, you want attention. I just think these things are funny.
You put golf balls in your mouth. That's funny.
That we found in the dirt. That we didn't even wash off.
Even better, yes.
I mean, I do these things because I think they're funny. And, there's some pictures we didn't post yesterday that involve maple syrup and all these other things, and there's videos. And it's I came up with this idea because I thought it would be funny. Mm-hmm. And, everyone was down. Everybody at the brewery saw the pictures and, were, cheering it on. And it was, a competition, basically, of, who could be more risque and, who could take it to the next level. That's me as a person. That is the things I think up and go do.
Right.
And so if you put it on social media, though, it's portrayed as,
It's going to be a lot of negative comments. Because people are uptight.
Well, okay, so last week I posted, a fact and got shit. This week I post me just having fun on a Sunday after being in the studio for hours shooting another secret project. And, I was just fucking around thinking, oh, we have a cowboy here. He's our producer. He's hot. He was talking about hooking up with, a cougar the night before the rodeo. And I was like, well, then, why don't we... I hooked up with a guy that's about your age. I'm basically a cougar now, apparently. So why don't we, play around? Are these not... it's a grown-up, game of, dress up to me.
Right. It's fun. But I think people, they want to see the negative in everything. Yeah. And they want to judge. And they want to be dicks.
But, if you know my sense of humor at all, you know that these things occur to me on a daily basis.
Right.
And I go through them. Right. Hence why it's, running towards disaster.
You know what? I think a lot of people, they're scared to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they're going to put it down.
Well, that's why we have this platform, I guess, because it's on brand now.
Right.
So I never used to post this kind of stuff because I was the queen of dating.
Right.
I didn't have a life, apparently, other than helping others. I was never this person that I've always been. Now it's a Sexcapade Chronicles, so it's long sexually. So no one can really, say anything, but people private message.
Right. And
so I'm sorry if our brand has been tarnished by me joking around. I don't know. I just thought it was very odd, that people were, picking on me because, I was, joking in a photo shoot. It was taken by a professional photographer and, videographer that does this for a living.
Right.
And so it's, actually in the studio.
No matter what you do, people... No matter what anybody does, someone will find, something to rag on. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could go cure cancer. Someone's gonna be like, oh, she didn't do it soon enough, or she didn't do it right.
So yeah, I don't ever understand, and we talked about this before, putting another person down to make yourself feel better. If you want to be in, one of these photo shoots, let me know. If you want to volunteer, we can make that happen. And that was the whole point yesterday. I'm you want to be a part of this? We can make that happen. Because people feel excluded. Okay, then. You want to come play along, when we play dress up.
Right.
And this is, not people I'm having sex with, I'm playing. It's a kid. I played with Barbie till I was 12. Do you think that's the problem?
I never played with Barbies. Is that a problem? I would cut their hair. Really, really short.
I used to style and cut their hair too, but that was my way of living a different life.
Yeah.
I think this is where my disassociation began. Is my Barbies were always having sex. I'm gonna be honest, because my babysitter watched soap operas, so I thought everyone had sex all the time.
Oh my god!
So at a very young age, my filter of everything
right.
was I didn't know any better. So I basically have grown up with no boundaries, no
right.
limits. As my doctor talked to about last week, is not normal.
Oh my god, after you texted me from your appointment, but you have trust issues, and I'm just well, what? I could have fucking told you that.
My doctor says I need to start dating a normal person and talk about the weather and things that are not Jenn-like, that are boring.
Without balls in your mouth?
Basically, and act like a civilized human, because I am better, because the Hot Mess Express, and joking about that, I guess I can't joke anymore, because I don't behave that way anymore.
Right. So it's time to cut that off, and we're gonna find you a nice boy.
Okay, so speaking of that, Lisa's gonna find me a man. So Lisa's gonna set me up as the queen of dating. Obviously, those who can't do teach. That is apparent.
I will try to not teach you, just to marry whoever, because.
Well, you know, I've already done that too, so it can't get any worse. I mean, really and truly.
Yeah. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna find someone.
Someone.
Someone that's funny.
Yes.
Has a great sense of humor, because
have to put up with me on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I think you can do a background check on them to make sure that, like, you know,
they're not a serial killer.
So then maybe I won't have trust issues, as my doctor said.
Right.
You know, because, like, I'm very guarded if you don't know me as a person, and what I put out there is maybe not so much how I behave in real life.
Right.
And that's, I think, what he was talking about, is the persona versus, like, our conversations when we're not on air.
Right.
I don't know. So, we talked about on social media, are all the good ones crazy? So, 77% of you said yes, and this was a lot of comments, mainly from Lisa's husband.
Again, the nice buddy.
He was very emphatic that Lisa was the craziest of all. And, like, I was like, are you implying, like, I'm crazy too? And he's like, I don't know who's crazier. Like, that's really nice that your husband has now put that.
He's lucky that I think he's funny.
He's lucky that I'm still nice to him.
It's funny. Because he can say things, because he treats me so well, he can say things that are outrageous. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's not how you really feel.
He really does feel like you're crazy. He said this many times in my presence.
Oh, but he's right.
Totally.
That's not hurting my feelings. He's stating a fact.
I know, but on social media, I mean, like, when people post that, they don't know that these are conversations we actually have about our levels of crazy. And, like, we're very honest.
I own it.
Yeah, well,
you know what? It's more fun to be crazy than to be uptight and judgmental.
Yeah, I think that, like, being able to talk about the mental health stuff is, like, really giving me a platform for the crazy.
Right.
And no one can really, like, she wants to go lick things off people. Like, okay, like, just being crazy. Like, why can't we see it that way? Like, I have mental problems. At least I'm happy. Like,
right?
While I'm doing it. Like, I mean, I'm not, people are asking if I was making porn now. Is my new endeavor.
You do have a box of sex toys. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't need don't even get me started on that. Like, what can I put in my mouth next? Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. You just laid into that one. Oh, maybe the porn industry is gonna be a calling, you know, like, first the porn star, now. Yeah, no, I'm never going to be a porn star. No. I can't perform for the camera, like, I joke around, I can't have sex on camera. I don't even have a sex tape. I don't even like sex. So no, like,
no porn.
No porn for me. Well, I'll watch porn, but I'm not gonna star in it. Okay. I think that's a reasonable line.
I think that's a good line not to cross.
I mean, I would lose my teaching credentials. Yet again, we go back to that. I worked too hard to lose those.
Right.
And being a porn star would kind of go against.
I don't think they would want you teaching children.
I don't think people would probably want me near children, given like, the things I say anyways at this point. Okay, so the ownership of being crazy. Mm-hmm. We live in a society that wants to pretend they're better than others and judge them on social media. Yes. Or out in public or whatever.
Yes.
Like, I think that's so much more fun to own the crazy, because then no one can judge you, because you're on it, what are you going to say?
Right. That's what I didn't like about living in Rockland. It was very... The area, it was very, I'm a stay-at-home mom, my kids are dressed perfect, their hair is perfect, and that is not me. So I lived there for a while, and I couldn't take it. It's too plastic. When you go to the gym and all of the women have their hair done and makeup on and like perfect outfits and like and they're there for show. They're not sweating because they're lifting weights trying to look pretty and attract a mate.
Oh, so that's where I'm going wrong, apparently. It's like they're rolling out of bed and looking like shit and, like, making Sean come run with me in the morning. Okay, well, I grew up in East Ag. It's very similar. That's why, I didn't really fit in to that mold. Because It's like, I am crazy and I am obviously very provocative in my thought process. And being plastic, and that's like, you have money to cover up your crazy. Mm-hmm. And those are the most judgmental of them all. Right. It's like going to Catholic school. Like, those people, like, that, like, are adamant about going to church, as your ex-husband was, the fanatical cheater.
The good Christian.
Yes, right?
He couldn't keep his dick in his pants.
His new wife is so lucky. We talked about this at lunch a week ago. Anything's never gonna change? Probably not. So
I'm sure she fixed him.
Okay, well, he had a drinking problem, so let's get to the denial about drinking habits. We asked you, or I asked you, I guess, last week, because it was National Tequila Day, and then the next day was National Wine and Cheese Day. Now,
perfect.
I see it like it's every fucking day that there's like cocktail day, it's an alcohol day. I am not opposed to this idea. However, as a society, do we have to have a national day to make it okay to drink?
No. I'll drink any day.
Is it like less shameful if I would go drink tequila though on National Tequila Day?
It's an excuse.
Exactly.
It's like New Year's Eve. What are you supposed to do on New Year's Eve? St. Patrick's Day.
Well, these aren't things that like I should answer because the things that I think of like not the rest of the world. Like New Year's started with a bang. Like is that not normal?
All right, this is separate street we're taking now.
No,
so anyway, back to
word association games are not probably my strong suit.
Right.
And this is I'm drinking water. I
have coffee.
This is sober. Like I've been, sober like so much lately. And so, drinking habits, like so 72% of the people that answer the poll said they don't need a reason to drink to rationalize it. But 28% of people said they do.
See, I guess where I fall into that is when I go camping, you can have vodka in your orange juice for breakfast because you're camping. You can have a can of beer in your hand all day because you're camping. You're not driving, you're not doing anything.
You go camping once a year.
Right, and that's kind of my time to just drink like a fish. And I mean, I'm not like falling down puking drunk. Like I don't do all that.
Well, I haven't done that in quite some time, to be honest. Like I have, not been that bad. But
in Vegas too. So camping and Vegas are the two times that it's kind of okay. But other than that, the holidays, I don't know. If I'm barbecuing, I might want a beer.
I mean, I'm down to 1 day a week now of drinking, from 6 days, once upon a time 2 years ago, to deal with life. Mm-hmm. But it's not even like drinking to get drunk and like to be like a mess anymore.
Right.
I've come a long ways. And people are always like, do you ever get better? You can, yes. And you don't have to continue to be an alcoholic to deal with your problems in life.
That is not a way to deal with problems.
No, but it was my coping and I was in treatment. At the time, that was the best I could do. Mm. But, to be able to not drink like that anymore and such, I don't feel like I have to rationalize my drinking to anybody. Right. Like, everyone thinks I'm a party girl, so as it is, what the fuck's anybody going to say?
Right.
Jen's just being Jen.
Right.
I mean, we are judged very differently, though, being in the public eye. I mean, I've seen my friends lose their careers over their drinking and, drugs and such that are in the public eye. And we don't talk about why they're doing those things, though. We're very quick to be like, oh, they have a problem, they're fucked up, they made bad choices. Well, what led to those bad choices?
Right. Me drinking as a teenager, making bad choices.
Trauma.
There was a reason.
The trauma. And, Ebony posted this article yesterday. The number one reason for addiction is trauma. That was the precursor.
Was it on Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, it was on Facebook. Okay. It was on Facebook. So there's this article talking about, the addiction epidemic and where it comes out of, the basis was trauma. They, were able to link it back to one thing.
Right.
How do you cope then? And then you go back to homelessness and what I was talking about with the Assembly Bill and prison population and people using because of trauma and not treating the underlying issues.
Yeah, because no one goes into it hey, so it's Monday, I'm gonna start doing crack. That's not how it happens. There's some reason they're drawn to it.
Yeah, exactly. I never done any drugs till 3 years ago. That was not my thing, ever. Mm-hmm. I never even smoked pot. I still haven't. Mm-hmm. I've never even had an edible. That's just one of those things of that was the line I was never gonna cross. I was never gonna drink 13 hours a day either, but that's what happened as a coping strategy.
Right.
But the trauma was so great at that point, I couldn't exist in my reality. And I would do anything not to feel like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm very empathetic now towards addiction. I didn't understand before how it starts.
Right.
It starts with something really bad happens.
Right. And with my dad being an alcoholic, when I was young, I always thought just quit drinking. Mm-hmm. Put your big boy pants on and just stop drinking. And I tried for so many years and he lost a great career. And I didn't realize that he was drinking for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you don't choose to be a homeless alcoholic. Yeah. Generally, there's a reason
And, like, Sean and I kind of got into it this morning while we were running about this, because he's like, well, the homeless population chooses to be homeless. And I'm like, Sean, I would have been homeless. Like, you're my ride or die. Like, my emotional support animal. Mm-hmm. Like, if I did not have you, like, to get me to leave the house, what would have happened? You know, like, what would have, like, my life turned out like? Mm-hmm. No one, like, signs up, like, decides one day, like, I'm going to make bad life choices and end up with nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like something happens to set that all in motion. And, like, you can't be in denial of that part and think as a society we're going to get better.
Right.
Because that's, like, me. My parents asking 3 years ago, when is she going to get better and be able to go back to work? There is no answer.
Right.
They said that she may never be able to. And that was a really great reality, let me tell you. I may never get better. I may never be able to think again.
But then if you're not going to be better in what they think, then whatever you are, you use that, which is...
I use my coping strategies. But, like, it's like being able to come back, though. Like, I'm a million times happier than I ever was before all the bad shit happened. And living an authentic life and just being able to laugh and, like, actually having coping strategies other than just being a train wreck. Like, I mean, that's kind of like success.
Right.
It's not what others would measure it by, because I'm not going back to the classroom, I'm not teaching, and I've gone down a very different road of the Sexcapade Chronicles.
But happiness is more important than being fake and doing a career, having a career that your family thinks you should have.
But that's why I'm a failure, though. Like, that's like what all these underlying issues of, like, what it's supposed to look like is why I'll never fit that mold, which is why we will never be okay, because therefore I'm failing. And I refuse to live my life and feel unhappy because you can't meet someone else's expectations when you're actually doing the things you're passionate about.
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing as me, like, choosing to be a teacher over going to law school. I mean, it was a failing again. You know, like, as a society, like, what do we do to make ourselves happy? Like, what is the thing you do to make yourself happy?
Last night I was really happy with my girls in the backyard and I barbecued.
Okay, so just spending time with your family.
I mean, we brought out the rabbits that we have, and it was just me and the two younger ones, and it was nice. And then Saturday I went to my daughter's boyfriend's 21st birthday. I took a Jello shot with him because it's 21st birthday. I had to.
Totally.
Have to.
I don't know. I don't have children and family. Like, this is apparently what people do. I don't know. Like, I'm down. Like, why wasn't I there? No. Like, I had to be sober because I had film yesterday and not be hungover.
Yeah, no, I know. I had to make the choice before I took that first Jello shot. I had to make the choice of, okay, I think we did 2 Jello shots, and then I think I had some Fireball, and then that was it. And then I sobered up for 3 hours before venturing home.
Yeah.
To sleep on the living room floor with my girls. Since Justin was away at his softball tournament getting injured.
Oh, I didn't know. That's the picture you posted of you guys on the floor.
Yeah.
I didn't know they weren't together. I didn't know Justin was, I thought he was in town and did this. Oh, this is great. So he came home broken. Oh, this is better.
So it was me and the girls, so we laid out like a bunch of blankets and pillows. We watched a scary movie, had a lot of candy.
A lot of candy. Apparently she ate all the chocolate, so that's why I don't have any. That's fine, I guess. Like, she's skinnier. Like, I'm so envious of her. It's so not fair. I will never be that skinny, but that's a whole other issue.
I don't think I'm skinny.
Yeah, we have body dysmorphia. It's fine. It's our society as a whole. Because she had to zip me into the stress, by the way, before going on air. Like,
and then I was like, hold on, like fixing boobs and adjusting and pointing out my new, what do you call them?
Body parts, like, that I've developed, apparently. And I'm like, here, Lisa, and like, I swear it's gonna sink. Let me suck it in. Like, I think it's funny, though, because it's like, people don't know, like, how hard we are on ourselves before we even, like, start filming.
And I think it's good to talk about it, because I'm sure every woman thinks, like, they're the only one that's like, oh my god, my body's changing, and I'm gonna be 42. This is all new. I don't understand what is going on.
Okay, so I posted a picture this morning of my abs, or lack thereof, whatever, but like my stomach looked relatively flat. And I got some negative feedback, and I didn't tell you about this. Like, so you're proud of this, like, you know, and I was like, do you know how many surgeries I had? They cut me open, and like, they told me my stomach would never even like resemble that, and like, I have had so many scars, and I was so ashamed of, like, that for so many years. Because that hit struck me, like, 5 years ago, but I'd had so many surgeries in a year. And I was like, do you understand how hard it is for me to be like, my stomach doesn't look fat? Like, I post a picture, and everyone's like, oh, you're so obsessed with yourself and like posting all these pictures with you with hot dudes and all this stuff. I'm like, what do you think my real life's like, motherfuckers? Like, I'm out with hot dudes, probably licking things off of them, thinking it's funny.
Balls in your mouth at some point.
Probably taking off my clothes somewhere. Like, I mean, like, it's pretty reminiscent, actually. It's just like a much different version because people are judging based upon their reality.
Right. So this is what I teach my girls because they used to, like a few years back, I would put on a bikini because I have to absorb sunlight because I'm part lizard and I must tan. And so they would be like, why do you show your stomach that looks like that? Because in their heads, they've already learned that you have to have like a perfect body.
Yeah.
And what I've told them is because I don't have stretch marks, but I have like like the extra skin a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've pushed 3 humans out of my vagina. So what I tell them is,
I'm like, it's all like cut open, so I wouldn't have to have things come out of my vagina. Yes.
Well, I told them like it's my badge of honor. I've earned that. It's nothing that like That's why I won't ever get plastic surgery because I don't want my girls to think. I mean, I don't care if people do. That's on them. I don't give a shit what other people do. But for me, I don't want my girls to think that they have to go get surgery to look better.
Yeah. And you know I live in pain because like the scar tissue being wrapped around my organs and stuff. And like as I was working out this morning, like I remembered why I don't work out because like it's painful.
Yeah.
Because like it's wrapped around like my intestines and like all that stuff. And I think for me, like being a marathon runner to like then not running, it's like a loss of your identity and self, and like people don't know the consequences of that. And I could go back in and have another surgery, but I don't want to go under because everything that can go wrong, always goes wrong for me.
Right. So people probably don't even realize that you were a marathon runner.
Yeah, I ran
like, there's pictures like
3 marathons, 3 marathons under 5 hours. Mm-hmm. I bought a bib off somebody the day before. I only run 13 miles. My fucking ass ran 26. The next day. So I think, people are always like, oh yeah, Jen's kind of giving it up on working out or whatever. I gained 45 pounds. I was on bed rest for 5 months and had a catheter and like had all these botched surgeries. Mm-hmm. I lost all that weight, but like I can't ever go back to the life I had before. Right. More like you can't go back to like not having 3 kids and like a little bit of extra skin. Mm-hmm. But we're so self-conscious of these things. Well, apparently I'm not because like, I take off my clothes and like lick things off with people and, pictures. I've gotten over it, but nonetheless, we are very critical of ourselves. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I saw the pictures I was telling you from on set yesterday, I was like, oh my God, I have to start working out no matter what. Like the cost, pain, doesn't matter. Because
that is ridiculous. No one should feel that way.
But it's kind of one of those things of like, I know how it's going to be seen. I know how it's going to be judged. Like if you're going to be on TV, therefore you have to look a certain way. Now I'm very excited about this, don't get me wrong, but there's always that part where like, fuck. Right. So all of that food and carbs and alcohol, at least I'd be able to consume. Can't do that anymore. So, alright, well thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Sexcapade Chronicles, and we hope to see you for the next episode.